Hey everyone, this is Dan, the data scientist interview instructor from datainterview.com. In this video, we're going to watch a 30 minutes of mock interview based on Facebook's product data science round. Now, as some of you know, Facebook loves to ask product sense and SQL questions in their interviews. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an actual candidate who is preparing for interviews at FANG companies and grill him with some SQL and product sense questions. Now, we're not going to really cover the solutions part here because that's actually part of the monthly subscription. So you should definitely check out datainterview.com if you want to, take a look into how to actually solve these problems. But nonetheless, this is a 30 minutes, the first portion being SQL followed by the product sense. And as you're going through the video, you're going to see on the right side of the quarter pad, the interviewer's commentary, which is actually written by me. And you will be able to see how the interviewer is evaluating candidates' response to these technical questions. So without further ado, enjoy the video and make sure you check out datainterview.com. Please share this video and like this video. And if you have any questions or comments, drop a comment down below. Enjoy. Hello.
Hey Dan, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Yep. Yeah, so welcome to the mock interview for the Facebook product data scientist interview. This is kind of mimicking their phone screening, and it will cover two sections, so product sense and SQL. We'll in fact actually start with SQL, which is going to be about 20 minutes, and then the product sense can be about 20 minutes. And then we'll spend the remaining time of the hour just going through the solutions together. Does that sound good with you?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, awesome. All right, so on the quarter pad, I've pasted the SQL, basically the tables, and I'm going to give you two questions for you to answer. All right, so I'll start with the first question. Oops. All right, so based on the user activity and post reactions table, can you count the percentage and count of each user activity, publish, comment, upload per day? And I just want to mention that the UID field in the post reactions is a UID of basically the person that posted it.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So yeah, let me take a couple minutes and take a quick a moment to read through the all the columns in each of the tables.
Okay.
So on the user activity, we have full names, UID, which is the foreign key to the post reaction table,
yep.
And have activity and the date. And the post reaction, we have post ID, as reactions, UID, and date. So the first question is to calculate the count and the percentage of user activity. May I ask the desired what is the expected output look like? Is so it output will be probably not the okay. So expected output is by each date and for each activity we will get like activity number and activity percentage.
Yeah.
Right? Typo. Sorry. Okay, sounds good. So I think the first step I will do is to calculate the number of the UID per for each activity and by date.
Okay.
Then I will divide the numbers of the counts by the total number of the UID per day to get the percentage.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. So select from user activity. So given the desired outcome, so I can just group by date and then the activities, and then count the UID. So just want to be clear, so there's no duplicate UID on user activity table. It's unique. It's distinct on UID. One user can have
so one user
UIDs.
will get one UID. But of course, given that this is like kind of like an action table where you have user activity, you can have multiple instances of UID appear.
Okay, gotcha. I see. So may I ask another quick question? So if the say John Doe has the UID and the activity is published.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so one user can have multiple UIDs. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That makes sense to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
So group by 1 and 2. So I think this one will give me the activity count. And then we will break select from 10 people, and then basically so here I will I need a, but this one I will select. I will divide it by the select sum of account. Basically, just like have a subquery to get what's the total activity counts from the previous table we created, and then this will be our denominators, and then but we need to get a percentage, so I think we should times 100. I think for the postgrad, sometimes you will just like round it to the integer, so it's no harm to as the person. Yeah. Sorry. Indent. Oh, why? Yeah. Let me briefly check whether there are some obvious mistake. First step is just like count the account, and then next step just divided the number of count by the total number of the account activity count. Okay. Yeah. Did you have any suggestions, or we're unable to execute the code?
So this is not an executable environment, and syntax doesn't matter too much in this case. Just want to understand your logic here. So what do you think is can you just sort of walk through from the beginning to the end, and how what would the output look like if you were to run this code actually?
So the first step, I just like aggregate the total activity count for each activity. So basically, that's the output of the in the CTE table.
Yeah.
Like by each day activity, I got a number of counts. So that's it. Do the aggregation first, and then the next step, use the subquery to compute percentage. So the output of the first step just return the count for each activity. For Hannah, there's some issue.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always should treat the data so I think here, I should use the window functions to get the what is the total number count for each day. So here, I will sum over partition by t date, and then order by we need to order and as total count, and then here replace this one. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Total count for each day. Then step and then computing and then calculating the percentage. Yeah, would that be since we cannot run the code, but like sum the activity count in I think there shouldn't be an issue in Redshift. Like basically we can use the column we just created and then do another calculations. Yeah, does that make sense to you?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. We'll just move on to the next problem.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so now among users who published the past 7 days, how many posts received more emojis than likes?
Okay, so among users who published the post, okay, who published a post 7 days, the past 7 days, how many posts receive more emoji than likes? So the first thing I want to know the expected outcome look like. So that'll be helpful for me to think through the logic. So how many posts receive more? So basically just a number, like how many posts receive, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Let me take a. Okay, so that would be, so our target is all the among users. Our condition is the user who published the past 7 days. So I think my thinking process is we treat the post reaction as the like our main table, and we will join the user active table to filter out all the user not meet this condition, meet this criteria.
Okay.
So from the post reaction table, P, and then since the using let's join the user activity. Oh, sorry. You already mentioned the UID is the key, so UID, and here I will also put the what is the condition? Okay, publish the past. So there are actually two conditions. The first is the activity should be post.
Yeah, which is reflected by just publish in this case.
Yeah. And And another condition is the date range. So the past 7, who published the past 7 days. So is greater than current date.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that is abstract all the condition. The next step, I will read how many posts. So in the post reactions, count the post ID as the number of posts. But like here, I think we can use the having basically just having more I just use the counter reactions. Okay, I think I think I should take a step back. So basically, when we left join the user active tables, it will just narrowly down to the post that got published the past 7 days. So I think here I will put the reaction. I want to know what's the number of the post for each of the reactions, and then group by 1. So count post ID and reaction line. Okay, so post ID will be duplicate. We'll have multiple records, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So reaction like. So I think this one. Just how many people receive more emoji? Okay. Then because we just focus on like an emoji. So P dot what's the emoji and like. Okay. So for the first term table, give me the total number of the okay. So so for the first step, it will give me the what's the number of likes and emojis each post received. So yeah, and so the next step I will use the case one. Like numbers. Oh, sorry, I should.
You have to figure out a way to do the comparison, right?
Yeah, that's true. So then like reference equal to. So basically, I don't necessarily need this one. So reaction. So basically, just give me what's the number of the emotion, square and reaction, equal to emoji, then 1, else 0, and this will be like a just count and do the same thing for like.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically for each that's how so yeah, we don't necessarily need this line, but so I think the next step will be just return how many post ID from the previous tables where the like okay like so receive more emoji than like. So basically just let me see. So my let me briefly walk through my my process, my thinking process. First step, I use the post reaction as the main table and let join the user activity because we just cared about the like among the users who published the past 7 days, and that's why I apply these filters and also filter down to the publish activities, and then join this to table based on the UID. And then so for each of the post ID, I can sum out what's the number of the reactions each post received, and that's it will return the number for the post ID. And the final the last step, I just count the how many post ID that meet our criteria, which is the emoji count is larger than like count. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Uh-huh.
And so that's the end of the SQL portion. And then now we're going to segue over to the product sense. So I'm going to change this into just regular plain text. All right. So in this product sense portion, I want you to imagine that you're a data scientist working in Facebook's marketplace. And I want you to be able to kind of address a couple key questions that involve the business of the Facebook marketplace. So starting with this question, which is, how would you measure success on Facebook's marketplace?
So before we jump into the conclusion, I have a couple of clarifying questions.
Okay.
The first question I have is, what is the business purpose of measuring the success on Facebook Marketplace? How does that tie to business mission or business objective?
Yeah, so we just want to be able to gauge the growth of the marketplace, whether it's helping the Facebook platform as a whole. Really, we want to be able to have some success metric as like kind of like a North Star for our business stakeholders.
Gotcha. I see. So so grow the user base, and then also come out with company's goal. I think this business goal, grow the user base, and I will also business impact is to come up with a metrics for stakeholders. How would that start for business stakeholders holders to measure the success. And I also because I can also imagine that why it's important to grow the user base, because Facebook is the mission is to build a community and bring everyone closer. And then by growing the user base, by increase the use base and also increase the engagements, that will lead more users spend more time on our platforms and engaging with other users, which will in return like we can generate more revenue by advertising posts or that's where how we make money. So that's why that's very important to grow user base and improve the engagement. So yeah, I think that's pretty clear, like why we want to working on this analysis beforehand. Thank you. So the next step, I will brainstorm the metrics that will help to measure the success. I think the first I think we can apply using some of the framework to brainstorm the metrics. One, let me put that metrics. Metrics. So we can either use the AARR model, which like for each category, we can come up with some of the metrics with this framework. So acquisitions, I can think about like a number of the users who use the marketplace, and then let me write it out. Like a number of users who use these features. And also sometimes for some apps we also measure the number of downloads or number of the sign off. But because I will imagine that for some users they download Facebook if they already have some purpose that I just want to sell stuff and it's my first time to download the app. So I will also see what's the like a downloads and the number of the yeah. So that's for acquisition, I think. And another one is the activation. So I mean, in order to measure the engagement and success of Facebook Marketplace, we also not just like people download. We also need to track what's their how frequently they log in and then they use the features. So log in, and so actually I should put this one as the second bucket. Yeah. And I think next bucket is the retention. So this is I think the most important category because we care a lot about the engagement. So usually I will see what's the DAU or daily active user, weekly active users, or monthly active users. Of course, we need to have the definition of what activeness of the user would be. It can be defined by how many listing seller posts, or it can be measured from two perspectives. One is from the buyer, the other one is from the seller, and then for each of the segment, we can see what's the we can have different definition for daily active user, but that's the and other than that, I would also sorry. Do you have any?
No, keep going.
Sorry. And then other than just the daily active user, other than just active user, I will also interesting to know the stickiness of the like in at Facebook we also have some ratio like DAU MAU ratio,
Okay.
which is measure how what's the proportion of the monthly active user are active on a daily basis. So that's why I think is also helpful to know. Yeah. So and then the next step is the revenue. So this basically just like a success on every. This is where we make the money. So I will I can ask a like a quick clarifying question. So for the marketplace, is always customer to customer, or the business can also post the create a posting to sell their products.
Yeah, let's just say for this sake of exercise, it's just customer to customer.
Customer to customer. Okay, gotcha. So in this case, I will just focus on customer to customer. Then the way we generate the money is by when they engage in the marketplace, we will display some of the ads on the website, and then that's how we get the money from the advertiser. So in this case, I will measure like average dollar amounts we earn by users, and then total total revenue. Revenue average total, average number per earn generated by a user. So yes, and I may think about other revenue. Well, will we charge a seller like a fees when a transaction is complete, or?
Yeah, so let's just say that for this example, there's actually no like service fee that is charged out to the seller per se.
Okay, gotcha. So in that case, we won't make money by increasing the number of transactions, but like more in transaction mean like more people using marketplace, and we can still earn the money by displaying the advertisement post. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think revenue. I think the last bucket is a referral. For this case, maybe it's not that important to measure a referral, but like we can know. Like I realize for some company, when they jump into the marketplace area, they will send out an invite if you refer the friend to have the first post or sell the first product. You will get like a $5 off discount. So in this case, I will just like how many invites send, just for the sake of simplicity, and then of invites, please accept. So I think it's just like the briefly metrics what I will be keep tracking.
Okay.
And I think the next step is after we agree on which metric is we are going to prioritize. We need to think about what's the unit of the analysis, because right now I didn't put any time frame for each of the metric. So for example, like a average dollar per user, are we talking about per month, per day, or per week? So that will be the next step to refine the metrics.
Okay, so along that line of what you just said there, suppose that you have to pick one metric to measure success. Then which one would you pick here, and what would be the time frame and why?
Mm-hmm. So the next question, just pick one North Star metric. In what time frame? Okay. Let me take a back, increase the measure the success of Uh, I will pick because we mentioned the business goal is one of the main business goals is to grow the user base. So daily active users can serve as proxy for engagement measurement and also um, help us measure the success of the market. So I will use the daily active user, and I will choose the active user. And then so the definition of the active users is the new users plus the recurring users. Oh, and then minus the churn users. So that's the formula of the active users.
Okay.
And yeah, so to my understanding, for what time frame, I think we can track daily active user on active user based on daily, weekly, and monthly. So that's the time frame I will pick. Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. So that is the end of the Q&A portion of this interview.